I think it's about time that we introduced our first speaker for the day. And he's travelled a fair distance, I believe, or he's certainly from a place which is not just down the road. He's a kindness coach from Cork in Ireland. He's the Chief Kindness Officer of Suspended Coffees. He's a very, very kind person. We're delighted to have him kicking off today's event. And so his talk is called The Moment, with the extra E, you realise you're a leader. Give it up, everyone, for John Sweeney.
Testing. Is it working? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah? Can you all hear me? Okay, so hello everyone. Good to see you all. Everybody feeling good?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So before I start, just want to get you all to stand up really quickly. Okay, you can sit back down. I just want to see where you're listening. So the title of my talk is The Moment You Realise You're a Leader, not spelled like the guy spelled it. And I think for me, the moment you realise you're a leader is when you realise that you don't have to follow other people's paths, that you can effectively create your own. And there's a quote which I really like, which I think typifies that, and it's that don't feel like you ever have to follow the masses, because sometimes the M is silent. So for those of you who didn't get that, everybody get it now? Okay. So my name is John M. Sweeney. I'm the founder and Chief Kindness Officer of a global social movement called Suspended Coffees. Suspended Coffees is effectively an offer of kindness by buying somebody, a stranger, a cup of coffee as a way to pay it forward or to be kind. So it can be a cup of warmth for a homeless person or somebody experiencing homelessness. It can be a cup of hope for someone well-to-do, but perhaps a little bit down in their luck. So what we have is we would have over 2,000 cafes in 34 different countries who've helped suspend over 5 million coffees all over the world. We would have over 300,000 followers across our social media channels, and we would have a weekly reach of anywhere between 1 and 5 million people. We would also have a lot of people who go out into their communities and perform very, very purposeful acts of kindness, because kindness is something which can have a profound impact on another human being's life. So just that gives you a little bit of an idea about who I am. Not so long ago, I was not that person. I was literally somebody who hid behind a computer screen, ran a Facebook page, and was terrified of being anyone or anything. Never dared to give myself a title other than a dad. So just to give you a little bit of an idea about the impact that, you okay, Darren? Okay, just to kind of creep me out there a little bit. But just to give you all a little bit of an idea about, the impact that Mo had on me, I should give you some of my backstory. So as you maybe some of you realised by now that I don't kind of talk like ye, I talk proper English. So back when I was younger, when I was in primary school, I was bullied quite a lot. I was bullied by other kids, and I was bullied by my teachers. Now, I mean, it was words and stuff, which was one thing, but it was quite physical. So it would have been nothing for me to go into school and to be beaten by my teacher or my principal, who thought it was fine to teach me, my colours by doing this, even though 3 years later they found out I was colourblind. And it was something I had to face every single day. So it was very hard to go to school. So it got quite vicious and it got quite bad, and it resulted in I was nearly killed in one particular day. So my mother, the only sort of justice she could get, or the only way the school would do anything, was if she brought a legal case against the school. So she brought a legal case against the school for me being bullied, and one particular time where I was karate chopped into my throat, which nearly killed me. So went into court when I was approximately 17 years of age, and we won the case. So I was the first person ever in the history of the Irish state to successfully win a case against the Department of Education for being bullied. Now, it came at a cost. We won a settlement which was a pittance, but it was the only acknowledgement we were ever going to get that, we did nothing wrong, that they were wrong, the school, only supported the rich people's kids, and just because I was from a working class family, I was pretty much beat on. So because of this, I was completely ostracized from my community. All my friends were told not to hang around with me, and I was effectively made to feel like I was the loneliest person in the world. So for the next 2 years, I got very fortunate in that I met a girl, got her slightly drunk, and she married me. And we had 4 children as well. All happened very quickly. But I knew deep down, from very, very young age, I always say to people, I always known I wanted to do something which inspired people. I always wanted to leave people better than when I found them. So I would have tried to go back to college on several occasions, submitted my applications, worked with local groups who were feeding people experiencing homelessness, trying to get them back into society, would have worked with young people trying to get them back into education or into the workplace, done everything you could possibly do, and I was told every time, no John, I'm sorry, but you're too long out of the education system and you can't even spell your name in the application, so like, Joe, we're not accepting you. So I got like loads and loads of knockbacks no matter how hard I tried. So I felt like I was at the end of my tether. Joe, and then on the 27th of March 2013 at 2:30 a.m. in the morning, I read about this concept which originated out of Naples in Italy, read about it on my Facebook when I was just lying in bed stressed out of my mind, and I said, geez, that's brilliant. I got to launch, a Facebook page. What else would you do at that hour of the morning? So I set up the Facebook page, not having a clue what I was doing or where it was going. And it went viral really quickly. So like all the media all over the world were asking me about this movement and this concept, which I had no clue about. Didn't even drink coffee. I'm a tea drinker. Coffee's bad for you. But so for the first year and a half, I effectively hid behind a computer screen because I was terrified of trusting anyone. I was terrified of putting myself out there, and any time I did, like really not nice things happened. So people took advantage, people used me, and maybe in a way I kind of left them because I suppose I wasn't a very confident person. I didn't know what I was doing, and like this now was all while I was trying to provide for my family. Like I would have the occasional heart-to-heart with my wife where she was screaming at me like, how are we going to feed the kids? What's happening? Like I need to know, and I'm like, I don't have a clue, but I know I got to keep doing this. And I'm very fortunate that, she believed me, she trusted in me. But like, there would have been days where we had to get up and our electricity would have been disconnected. There would have been days where I had to call people, for loans of money. There would have been days where I didn't have a penny in my pocket. But yet I was trying to inspire kindness throughout the world, and I was struggling to be kind to myself and to my family. That's a lesson that I learned much later about how to do that. So, like there were many sleepless nights. One particular morning, it was like 4:30 in the morning, and my wife woke up and she said, what the hell are you doing talking to yourself? I'm like, where else would you get an expert opinion at this hour of the day? And so at this point, I got very, very fortunate that a gentleman who went through the whole MOE journey decided to coach and mentor me and teach me, there was a whole other world out there. Put me in touch with Darren. So I had a chat with Darren on Skype. He said, John, like, wow, you've all this stuff. Like, you don't even know what's around you. Like, trust me, this is the beginning of your new life. And I was like, Jesus, who's this fella talking? And anyway, he said to me, look, John, are you free in such and such a date? And there, yeah, I'm available in those dates. He said, okay, I've booked you a flight. He said, I'm bringing you to London. He said, I'm gifting you your training to become a coach. And like, first thing I thought of doing was like Google, what is a coach? And Darren was there, it's my gift to you. I want to give that to you because I believe in you. Really, really, like, he was across the English Channel, and he just touched me right in my heart because I knew he meant it. I really, really knew he meant it. And even though I didn't believe in myself, I could see how passionate he was about me. So it actually had a knock-on effect, and I did start to believe in myself. So I went to the whole coaching thing. Great crack altogether. 16th floor of Citibank, amazing. Canary Wharf, like we don't have skyscrapers at home. Just have like 3-story buildings. And effectively, anyway, I remember, I was really worried because I'd never qualified at anything in my life, I never qualified as a plumber, even though, that was kind of because I flooded so many houses. Never qualified in school, left school when I was 15 on the recommendation of my guidance counsellor. I just never qualified at anything, and I was so nervous about taking this assessment. I was like, no way. I think there's one gentleman in the room here who was there, and he knows like the trauma that I went through. And I was there, like, I had 3 people around me helping me meditate. People were getting me fruit. Like, it was really, really kind of crazy experience. But anyway, just like, I got through the assessment. The lady, very, very nice lady, turned around and said, John, I'm really happy to tell you, but you've passed your assessment. So at this point, I did what any normal 29-year-old man would do. I broke down crying for approximately 20 minutes on the 16th floor of Citibank. Well, I said, yes, at the top of my voice. And incredible, incredible experience. But that was the catalyst for me, really, for the first time in my life, ever even coming close to believing in myself. So since then, just to give you guys a little bit of an idea, because I know time is an issue, but some amazing things have happened. I spoke in public for the first time in my life. I remember phoning my wife like literally 5 minutes before I was due to go on the talk because Darren had introduced me to this guy who wanted me to speak. And I was like, I can't do it. I'm going to hide in the hotel, like, please help me. I'm in an island called Guernsey, like, where the hell and how did this happen? And she's like, will you ever shut up and do the talk? I'm trying to watch EastEnders. And I'm like, Jesus. So thanks for the empathy. So anyway, I went, gave the talk, incredible, amazing, amazing thing. Then the third time I ever spoke in public, just so happened to be at TEDx, where I got to speak about why kindness matters. And forgot the most important ingredient of kindness, which is kindness to yourself. Learned that lesson the hard way. And some more amazing things, got to travel around America, around the world. Somehow managed to create a company that talks about kindness, but also creates workshops which are designed to incorporate more kindness into the workplace. Would have had the lovely people from Facebook Stories come and film one of my workshops in Philadelphia. It was just screened at a private screening with Mark Zuckerberg and the team. Would have gotten a very, very nice act of kindness from Ariana Huffington, who's offered me my own blogging spot on their platform. Little does she know I can't spell to save my life. And the funny thing, the irony of it is, when I set up Suspend the Coffees, I messaged everyone, please share this, promote it, this is what I'm doing. And like 98% of people never responded, and the 2% who did, I think, felt sorry for me because my spelling and grammar was so bad that, it was an act of kindness. So all of these amazing, amazing things, there's many more amazing things have happened. But I think for me to be really truthful and to really get this talk across, like I tell you 100,000,000%, my life and the lives of millions and millions of other people would not be how it is now if it wasn't for Darren sharing that act of kindness, and if it wasn't for the beautiful Sue, who constantly puts up with my lateness. And just an incredible organisation who believed in me. I mean, really, I had zero belief, zero confidence, but I knew deep down there was something. I knew I was searching for more. And these guys gave me the inspiration to be the greatest possible version of myself and to not follow other people. And I think if I'm to really, really condense my message in terms of like how to be a leader or how I aspire to be a leader, I just kind of use 3 points. One is to be kind. You have to be kind. Forgotten the second one actually. What was the second? Oh yeah. So one is to be kind. The other is to be authentic. And I think the third one is to really, really create your own path. Because like we only get one. Hello, sir. How are you? Good to meet you. We'll talk after. Do you like coffee? No. But I think the final point really genuinely is, I lived somebody else's life for so many years, and now I'm finally living mine. And I mean, there's tremendous highs and there's incredible lows even still. But I think the thing that I've never had is that confidence and belief in what I'm doing. So I would just like to say thank you to the wonderful folks at MOE. I would like to say thank you to all of you because you've been very kind to listen to me and laugh at my not so funny jokes. And I really hope if you do get something from, what's that nice? Oh yeah, 0. So is this like O or is it a 0? I don't know which it is. Okay. So is anybody else confused by that? But so really just to leave it there, I hope you all have a fantastic day. This is an incredible organisation which I mean I could not do it justice in 12 minutes. It's like asking an Irishman to get his point across on Twitter in 160 characters or less. Not going to happen. So just I really would like to say thank you, and this has been a blast, and now I can relax and chill out and enjoy it. So thank you all very much for listening. I hope you have a great day. This side is winning.
Well done.
Thank you.
Brilliant. What a great way to start the day, an act of kindness. So thank you so much, John.
You're welcome.
For opening up today's proceedings. So you've travelled the world and you've been talking about being kind, and I loved what you were saying about what makes a great leader: being kind, being authentic, and creating your own path as well. I would imagine what you do has taken you into some quite challenging environments. So I want to know what one of the least kind environments you've been in has been, and how
one of the least kind?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a challenging, unkind environment, and how you were able to translate your message across to them.
Mm-hmm. So is this still working? Okay. So I went to Philadelphia in America, and I worked with a non-profit organisation who. Is this a better angle? Would you like to? So let's just. So I went to Philadelphia in America. It's a non-profit organisation who work with people experiencing homelessness. So their job is extremely, extremely tough, and I mean, they're dealing with people who have no hope, serious mental health issues, and I mean, it's not an easy job, and they're not rewarded financially, they're not rewarded in many, many ways. But I think for me, what I noticed was, like, you know, there was a great sense of teamwork there, and there was a great, you know, understanding of each other. But what they struggle with the most is the environment they're in, which is the support network is extremely unkind to them. So, like, you know, I'm not saying they're bosses now, but the circumstances and, like, I suppose the institution that they work for, it's so hard. Like, they're fighting an uphill battle every single time. And these guys literally, I mean, when you look at another human being in life who feels like they've no hope and like they don't matter, it's very hard to inspire somebody, you know, to get out of a situation where they literally are living in the streets, where they don't have food, they have to dumpster dive to eat. I mean, it's really, I think they're angels in many respects, because the job is so, like, it's just so hard, and it's so negative in so many ways, because they get attacked even, you know, physically as well as verbally, you know. So, like, there's so much unkindness, but it's filled with so much kindness from the individuals who work there. So I think for me that was pretty incredible. And I actually had an interesting time in Guernsey in my last trip, actually, where I came up with this idea for drive-by kindness. And we were, like, handing out flowers and chocolates to people in the car. It's all recorded and everything. But, like, some people, like, mainly the police, got quite offended by it. And you know, so, like, I kind of literally just threw a load of chocolate at them and rang. But, like, you know, I know they were kind of looking for me and my whereabouts since then. But I mean, look, deep down, I think, you know, inherently we're all kind. We all, you know, we all extend kindness to each other. Sometimes we forget about it. Sometimes, you know, we're all rushing and we have things to do. But at the end of the day, you know, we're all human beings. You know, if you just treat people with a little bit of respect and courtesy, thank you, please. I mean, these things aren't hard, but they can have a massive impact, because nobody knows what's going on in your life. I mean, we all have struggles, we all have problems, but, like, I mean, you know, we rise by lifting others, not by kicking them down, you know, so.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the floor? Yeah, lady over there.
Hi, Dylan. Thanks for that.
Hello.
Hi,
Sorry,
Dylan.
what's your name?
Maureen.
Maureen.
Good Irish name.
Hello, Maureen. What is the crack?
Can you share what your lesson of how you had to understand being kind to yourself?
Yes.
What was that lesson for?
Great question. And for me, it's the thing I've always struggled with. Even now, it's still a battle, you know. But in terms of being kind to yourself, and I think there's a real strong link with storytelling. You know, so, like, the stories we tell ourselves are very, very powerful. So, like, we would tell ourselves, you know, if we want to do good work in the world, oh, I got to go and I got to do this for everyone. I got to help them and I got to do this and I got to do that. But if you're not looking after yourself and being kind to yourself, you can never give from an empty place. So, like, it's kind of like an airplane, you know, if unfortunately something happens to. And if unfortunately something happens, you know, like, you don't go around putting on everyone else's mask first. You put on your own. And I think it's something which a lot of human beings struggle with, you know. I mean, can you look yourself in the mirror and say that you matter and that you love yourself? So, not in a cocky, arrogant way, you know, but in a genuine, sincere way. You know, learn to love yourself and you can you can love everyone else. But, like, it's a struggle because we're taught as a society that we need to be like this person, the Kardashians, whoever. You know, and I'm not picking on them. You know, but no, genuinely I'm not. But, like, you know, with marketing and advertising, you know, we're led to believe that we need to be like this person next to us or that person, that we're not good enough. I mean, excuse my French, but F you, Mr. Marketer. You know, I don't care what you think. Do I want to be the greatest possible version of myself? And I think we encourage that in young people especially, because we lose it. When we're younger, we have it. But as we grow older, we lose it. So I think, you know, while some people class kindness as fluffy and balloons and daffodils, which is fine, it's much more powerful and strong than that. Absolutely. Thank you for the good question.
Thank you. Okay. We've got time for one more question. Yeah, lady here. Charlie's going to get a workout this morning.
I'm really curious to know, you arrived in London and then eventually you set up Suspended Coffees. What had to change in your mindset in between to get from where you were to where you wanted to be?
So I actually had set up Suspended Coffees before I came to London.
Yeah.
So the first time I was in London was literally for the coaching training. And I remember I arrived in Liverpool Street and just it was like 8 a.m. in the morning. Everybody's running like at 100 miles an hour. So I ran over to the security guard and I was like, what the hell's wrong? Where do I go? He's there. It's rush hour, mate. And so I think for me, I mean, with Suspended Coffees, like I don't make money. I don't monetize it. You know, for me, it's something I love and something I'm passionate about. And I believe that, you know, the value of it is worth much more than money. But I'm not saying I'm right to resist money in the organisation either. But I think for me, just learning to trust myself is probably the greatest thing that I can do. And that's what I'm doing more of, and that's what's given me, I suppose, greater clarity and greater success, if you class it as that.
Right.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, I guess I wanted to know, because when you came here, you had very little self-belief.
Oh, Jesus,
And
none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had none. So from there to kind of becoming who you are now, I just wondered whether there was a breakthrough moment or several little ones that just...
There was about 5, I think, really. And the MOE coaching was the biggest and most profound one, because it taught me so much about listening to others, but also to myself. You know, because I'd always listened to what everybody else told me all my life, whereas the MOE coaching taught me, you know, ask yourself the question and answer it, because you always have your own answers.
Oh, love that.
Great, thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Can I go?
Okay, so we've got things off with the brilliant John Sweeney. Everybody go about giving someone a cup of kind at some point today. But yeah, let's give it one more time for the brilliant John Sweeney.
Thank you. Cheers.